What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from The Quartering, and I know I've been critical. I've had some barbs I've sent Benny Johnson's way in the past, but those are always kind of based out of jealousy and pettiness, and really it was amounting to like, ha ha ha, clickbait. Nothing ever like that would be kind of evil or with the idea that, you know, trying to hurt him in some way. And I've even apologized to him for those comments I made in the past, and we're good. We've talked. We're good. But on Friday and through the weekend, there was a coordinated op to smear him as somebody who is not a family man. I don't know how many kids he has, 4, 5, 6. Seems like he's having another kid every couple of weeks. Not as a family man, but as a man who enjoys spending his time with other men. This is not anything I've ever heard before. However, I mean, the meme about Grindr crashing at the RNC is real. And I think that while I don't have the same issues that maybe some of the more conservative people do about gay folks, hey, I mean, I think we all agree, you know, as long as they're team turf, we're probably going to get along just fine. But I think this is a part of a bigger op. Let me just go back to Butler, Pennsylvania. A shot nearly took the president's life. Then at Mar-a-Lago, a man in the bushes, right? Just a little while later. I'll get the timeline. Was it a little bit before? No, it was a little while later, I think. Yeah, a little while later. We had the assassination of Charlie Kirk on September 10th. We had a lunatic showing up at Matt Walsh's home and at Benny Johnson's home who had issued insane threats to both of them. He's since been arrested. We had a drive-by at Tim Pool's house on Saturday night. And now, over the same weekend, we have now had this smear on Benny Johnson. And all of this, while through the usage of bots, in my opinion, and other PSYOP tech, the company known as TPUSA, who single-handedly helped get Trump the youth vote, who has tens of thousands of young Americans being excited about conservatism, also under attack. Baselessly, in my opinion. I've seen nothing to convince me otherwise. That's why I'm going to AmFest and why I want to meet so many people there, because the energy has just gotten so dark around this space. And on Friday night, Milo Yiannopoulos, who I like Milo. This claim doesn't change how I feel about Milo. I don't have a feud with him. I hope, look, Milo has an incredible way to gather dirt. He has been mostly right through his entire career, but this feels different. Now, I don't know if somebody's feeding him information incorrectly. It just feels like everybody on the right, fortunately, I'm relatively insignificant compared to, you know, people like Benny or Tim. I also don't really have any skeletons. I'm sure Milo would find them, though, if I had anything big. But he made a claim, and Benny has now since responded. This is a wild claim, but let's see what Milo had to say.
One of the most distinctive things about the right wing in this country is its homosexual overtones. Benny Johnson posts pictures of his children every 2 days. It's weird. And everybody knows what went on with Benny Johnson in those lobbies and in those hotel rooms at SAS. Everybody knows.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Men. Younger men, not underage. At least I don't know that. His wife was crying drunk in the lobby 3 SASs in a row about how her husband was upstairs with boys.
Come on.
Go ask her.
Come on.
Go ask her.
Come on, Milo.
Go ask her.
Milo, aren't you ever scared of getting sued?
Now, Milo, again, I don't know what SAS is or SAS. It's some sort of conservative convention, I imagine. I don't, I mean, that is a very specific claim to make. The thing is, discovery, which is part of the reason that a lot of people can say things that they want to say is because a lot of people fear discovery. I've been through a lawsuit and it is annoying to say the least. I didn't have anything that I was worried about, but I mean, when you're getting into lawsuits with people, they're going to get access to your email account. They're going to get access to your bank records. They're going to get access to your cell phone text messages. They're going to get access to your phone logs, maybe your voicemails. I mean, I don't know how much of that you can fight back against in court, but basically someone you're suing is going to say, hey, well, I need to see all your text messages because, you know, I think you're covering something up. The problem is, even if you're not, like, let's say Milo said to Benny, by the way, I have seen zero evidence about of this of Benny, and if what Milo is saying is untrue, then I think Benny has to sue him. Now, defamation lawsuits are tricky because you have to prove damages. You can't just sue somebody because they said something about you that is untrue. When you go to court, you're going to have to say, hey, I lost these sponsors, or I can no longer do cooperative content with other people because they think I'm a fraud. Or you can kind of tack on emotional damage or emotional stress, but that is a little less tangible and it's a little more, you know, difficult to kind of prove. I know this because I've been through a lawsuit, and I know this because I've been through discovery. And what most people don't know is there's a lot of stuff that people would prefer don't come out in discovery. You know, maybe a drunk voicemail or whatever that has nothing to do with the lawsuit whatsoever. But if they open up that lawsuit, then that stuff gets made public, and they could win the lawsuit but lose their entire career anyway. So discovery is a tricky thing.
You say crazy. I'm sitting here like I am humbled by the lore and your ability.
The audacity,
I mean, there's no teapots in this room right now to express how I feel.
George, I have said these things about people for 20 years and never once in my career been sued. I've issued.
He's correct about that. Milo has made a lot of claims, and I don't think he's been sued.
3 corrections in my entire journalistic career because I get my facts right, and people know that they do not want to go through discovery.
Actually, I want to say this.
I've never been sued for anything I've ever said about anyone.
The one thing I need to say this.
Because I'm right.
The most terrifying.
Now, okay. This puts, you know, and then a bunch of old articles that Benny wrote a million years ago for BuzzFeed are surfacing, but again, it seems circumstantial to me. You know, writing about how people look good, which president looks the best in a swimsuit, you know, Congressman takes off shirt, flies through the air and into your heart. I mean, these are articles written by Benny, but that's when he worked at BuzzFeed. Who knows if he was even told to write these articles, you know? You know, he says, let's be honest, straight guys, we all like butt stuff. I mean, I don't know. These are old articles. They don't look good in this narrative, but I mean, these articles are 10, 11 years old. It's odd. You know, Benny said the advertising on Military Times right now. But those are probably cookies, I imagine. Again, even if he were gay, I wouldn't care. That's me though. I know some people, it would matter to them. It doesn't matter to me. As long as he's in buying babies like Dave Rubin, I don't care. Benny Johnson then responds saying, I am duty bound to take action to protect my family against those who maliciously defame and attack us. More to come on that soon. Assume he's talking about a lawsuit. Pray for the healing of some really sick and delusional people. Jesus is about redemption. The legal system is about justice. Happy Sunday. Now, I would say this. certainly when Milo says, quote unquote, everybody knows, I don't know. But I don't go to these conventions because of stuff like this. Because people get drunk and people do, people are on drugs, make bad decisions. Everyone around you has a camera. You're not at your hometown bar, protected by your locals. I'm speaking to myself about myself. Like, I don't go to these like bar parties with other influencers because I party too hard. And I would be like, I'm going to do something stupid or say something stupid, and then it's going to be a scandal. So I just don't go. I think that, Benny has responded here. Certainly somebody would have seen Benny's wife crying 3 years in a row. If Milo has, said this, I'm assuming other people could corroborate it, but we don't know. We don't know. Again, you see most comments, can't wait for Discovery, because all your personal stuff comes out. Milo writes, I know that more about defamation than any lawyer who you will ever hire. Benny is a public figure. Malice is a non-starter. I have receipts, and the truth is a total defense against any claim of defamation or libel. Do you want to lose a defamation case to Milo Yiannopoulos of all people, whether or not you're gay? Do you even want to fight one? The people who have poured money into making you a big deal are about to lose their entire investment. I know more about your marriage than you think I do, and I have evidence, and I have witnesses, and I know who to subpoena. I know what questions ask about nocturnal liaisons with chaps and being caught in a flagrant delicto, I don't know what that means, at conferences attended by students, some of whom may have been under 18. I guess we'll find out. Nobody cares about you, Kate. So I'll say this. I don't know he's responding to, I don't know who Kate is. Is that his wife? I don't know. I don't get involved in other creators' personal lives. I'll say this. It was bad of me to say you look old. I'm a bad person. I'll delete that if you want and apologize, but it doesn't make me feel awesome to look back at those tweets. But you do look old. You look hideous, twice your age. But if you're raw about people saying you're a swinger, maybe don't be a swinger. Strange how rumors take on a life of their own. Discovery will destroy your career beyond any possibility of redemption. Benny, which was never my intention and never in my heart, because I believe that family is making you a better man, as I think it did Charlie Kirk, but this will be the inevitable result of your actions. I am hoping that this just ends, right? I'm hoping. Benny has never been, or has always been nothing but nice to me. Milo also said some heinous stuff about Erica Kirk, saying that she was a gold digger. I struggle to ever think Milo is wrong or doesn't have his sources right, but I have never seen, and I have not heard any rumblings. I have not seen any evidence of this. And, if Benny does sue him, then I would argue that Benny probably knows, Benny's not afraid of Discovery. So I don't know. Look, if Benny is gay, does it change any of the things he said to me? I don't think so. Does it change his show and his work? No, not really. Not to me. If they're swingers, does that change anything to me? Nope, not really. Although biblically, I think that there'd be some hypocrisy there. I guess if they're swingers, it probably does change a little bit. But as it stands right now, everybody on the right seems to be under attack. And I just wish that we would be focusing on the left and not, going after Benny Johnson or any of these other people. It feels like a non-starter to me. And I hope that cooler heads can prevail and we can just be done with this. I hope you're informed by the video. If you were, please do leave a like on it. If you haven't yet, please subscribe or follow down below, and we'll talk to you again real soon.